What's up, YouTube? Supernova back again for another video. Kind of an update on both that project and this project. The reason why I'm doing that project first, because I'm only in at about $2,500, and I basically got just about a brand new four-wheeler. I'll get to that in a second. Update on this green pollinated covered 350Z. That's the nickname for it as of right now, because it's springtime. That's a bunch of parts for that over there. So good news, we're finally fixing to start, or I'm finally fixing to start working on this car. Finally, I finally found a closer machine shop in Louisiana, because I live in Louisiana. And if any of y'all have any idea about how Louisiana operates, if you live in Louisiana, most likely you're broke. So anyway, that's why it's taking me so long to do this. Finally, I found a machine shop in Louisiana that will cut my old sleeves out and put the Darton sleeves in. I ordered the sleeves already. They are on the way. I have my pistons. I'm reusing my crank. I got the sleeves on the way. I'm waiting for those to come in, and I'm only $100 short of loading this thing up and taking it down to New Orleans to a machine shop. Not gonna release the name just yet. I'm gonna see what kind, how good of a job they do, and then I'll do a shout out for anybody that lives close to New Orleans, wants to get any CNC machine work done. I asked the guy how much it would cost to remove these sleeves, put the new ones in, deck it, hone it, bore it, or should I say deck it, bore it, then hone it. I told him I wanted it bored out from 95 to 96 millimeters. And I asked him how much it would cost to turn my crank, make sure it's perfectly round, get the block done, and I gotta get some main studs, because I plan on putting main studs in here. He said chances are the threads might not work right, so if it needs to be corrected, he will be able to do that. So I'm gonna bring the studs over there. The only thing I gotta do is get an extra $100 set aside in my account and order some studs and wait for my sleeves to come in. I can go ahead and load it up, bring it to New Orleans, and finally get this thing worked on before I can start building it. And then once I do that, get some money to get some rods, and I'll start building the bottom end, and of course get the bearings. Now as far as this thing goes, for any of y'all have not been following my channel, I bought this is a 2010 Honda Rancher 420. It is a true 420cc motor. Last video I made, it has some Outlaw tires. I call them kidney killers because they make a rough ride. But I got a brand spanking new set of wheels and tires for this four-wheeler, to kind of make it a little bit smoother ride and stuff like that. I replaced all the bad wheel studs, and I just put on some brand new lug nuts on it, as you can see, because there's a lot of lug nuts on here that's kind of mixed matched. And of course it's covered in pollen. As you see, it has a brand spanking new rear end in it. Probably don't even have not even 200 miles on it, if that. I wouldn't even say 100 miles, because I mean it's like really new. That muffler right there is worth about $300. And then it's also four-wheel drive, select four-wheel drive. It is a liquid cooled, fuel injected motor. That's another good thing about it. There's the radiator right there. That's pretty much the front view of it. I bought a new bottom end motor for it, because the crank was kind of shot in the one I pulled out of here, and I'm basically getting the top end rebuilt and everything. I would do it myself, but I work a lot, and being that my dad, he's been looking for stuff to do because he's not able to work. But anyway, that's another story. He's doing that. I got somebody working on the engine block since I work a lot, and so they're gonna get that done, and hopefully by next week I'll have a motor in this thing and I'll be able to crank it up and let it run. I'm keeping the snorkel kit on it. I reran some of the breather lines for the front end and rear end breather hoses. I ran them all up here. It's got the brakes work in the front, but it needs new pads, like really bad. It needs a new wheel bearing. I think it's on this side, I think, or it might be on the other side. Needs one new wheel bearing, 2 lower ball joints, and it needs, if I'm not mistaken, I think it needs 2 shock bushings. So I'm gonna eventually get that done. Other than that, you know, it's all right. I mean, it needs a little work and whatnot, but you know, it'll get there eventually. So, but that's the update for right now. Until then, peace out and God bless.